Welcome back to DPRK Athletics. My name is Yong and we are here at Thammasat Stadium, which is on the extreme northern outskirts of Bangkok, where we are going to watch the Democratic People's Republic of Korea under-20 women's football team take on Japan's under-20 women's football team here at the final of the 2026 under-20 Asian Women's Cup here in Bangkok, Thailand, 2026. Yes, it's going to be an exciting matchup. Do you know how many times Japan has won this thing? 6. Do you know how many times the DPRK has won it? 2. That means if the DPRK wins it, they will have won it for the second time in a row, and they will have won it for 3 times in total, which is half of what Japan has. So you got to start building that legacy. Build that legacy now. Anyway, it's about an hour before the start of the match. This really is in kind of a far-flung suburb. It's really far from the center of the city. I still need to walk over there and find a way to purchase a ticket, so that will be my next priority. So getting my tickets was pretty easy. All I had to do was roll up and basically pay the equivalent of $3.50 in USD. So that is like €3. That is ridiculously cheap. That's like 5,000 Korean won. So really easy to go to the final. There was one other foreign gentleman who was getting some tickets. I think everyone who bought a ticket while I was there was for Japan, but you know, I'm for DPRK. So anyway, I will go inside and we will see if there's any water or any provisions or if they're doing anything special for the final. So yeah. So we're out here about half an hour, 45 minutes before the start of the match. There really are maybe a handful of supporters for Japan up over there in the background. And then of course there are the VIPs who are sitting on the other end of the field, but there's really not many of them either. I didn't notice any in-stadium concessions, and of course this is not just a football field, but it's also for track and field and things like that, so it's not necessarily going to be the ideal conditions for watching football. It's kind of, we're so far from the field. I mean, we've got maybe 50 to 100 meters of like distance between us and the players, whereas at the other stadium we were right on top of them. It was much more modern, but you know, you just make do with what you've got. Also, the rain appears to have stopped. It looks like it was just a light day drizzle. It's really humid, but it's not super hot. It's kind of like a 25, 27, 28, something like that is the feeling right now. So one thing I've noticed is that right now it is 17:21 or 5:21, but that clock over there is showing that it is around 1:55. So I can conclude that that clock in this stadium is broken, and I shall no longer be relying upon it. The only scoreboard that works is all the way over there, and I see it like this, and that's literally the only scoreboard I can look at. So about 15 minutes to go, and I think they just played a road to the finale video, and I think like I was right at the beginning of DPRK's intro. I was just on there holding the flag. That's funny, but yeah, and I'm coated in sweat. It's almost time to start. So that's about it for the first half, with a pretty standard introduction. No introduction of like a cup or anything like that. There was just kind of a road to the final video, and that was about it. Just the standard national anthems and players coming in, and it's been 0-0. It's honestly just a tied half. It's felt like kind of the usual formula. Our team is going about it, kind of controlling the ball, not making a lot of dangerous passes, but always kind of keeping control of the ball on their half, while Japan has had a couple opportunities to get to their end of the field, but honestly, it's feeling like we're controlling it, but we just don't have the amount of dangerous goals. I mean, I feel like maybe 2 or 3 times I felt like we really had a chance of scoring. So it could very well go to extra time. Japan could break through on a lapse of concentration. So it's really anybody's match at this point. At the other end, there's a really famous gentleman who's bald, and he's got a drum, and he's chanting Nippon, Nippon. He's chanting Japan for Japan, and he's got a few different chants. Over here we have a gentleman who's playing a Korean gong. Yeah, and then you got me with the flag, and you've got maybe about, I don't know, like about 50 to 100 Japanese fans over here, and then just kind of some neutral fans, and me and one other DPRK fan here. The DPRK official delegation is over there. You know, it feels like we're playing the position game really well. We're getting the ball in the spots we want. We just need like 1 or 2 more good passes to really push it through. Not a lot of substitutions so far, just 1 minute of extra time, not a lot of yellow cards. It's clearly, there was one injury that happened for Japan, but other than that, it's been a really good, clean match. So yeah, that's about it. Another aspect is that there is, as usual, there's like this empty space, this neutral zone between the two sides of fans, I assume to kind of keep away from fights. And though it's very cool right now, it's cooled way down. Humidity is still very high, but the temperature's cooled way down, so it's really nice right now. So it's the end of the game, and from the Japanese delegation behind me, you can see how it turned out. Basically, Korea was not good enough. It was just like the match in Perth, where DPR Korea, the senior women's team, played against Australia, when Australia had just a couple of shots on goal, whereas DPR Korea had so many chances and they just couldn't use a single one. But as you can see, the Japanese fans are over there greeting their players. So like the key difference is they had a free kick somewhere in the middle of their field, and they used that free kick to get like perfect angle on a corner goal. And it was one of the few chances they had, but they used the most of it. And even though we completely dominated the ball, we just weren't able to measure up to it. It was really a shame. So the gentleman from the Cheongmyeon was here also cheering, but it was a little bit uncomfortable because he kept using anti-Japanese slogans when he was cheering. And so I was like, you know, I kind of don't want to participate in that. But you know, I still, when it was positive, I participated in the cheering with him, and you could tell he was really passionate about it, and our team was just so close. But anyway, it looks like they're building a stage behind me here right now, so that's cool, and I look forward to seeing the ceremony. And so that's it for the award ceremony. There was really nothing too unexpected. We had the best goalkeeper and the best goal scorer who had to accept their awards and then kind of just take the walk of shame as Japan got, you know, the best fair play team award. They had the best overall player, MVP, and of course they won the competition. You know, and then there was basically an award ceremony which is basically the same as the senior level. You know, the team gets up on top of the stage, and then, you know, they celebrate for a minute, and then, you know, they've got the fans out there. I don't know if the Japan team went back to greet the fans. I'm going to try to go to the other end of the stadium just to see if I can see the bus or anything like that, but other than that, that should be a wrap from here. Amazing fact, this confetti, which was on the field, has migrated over to outside the field, so, you know, they're going to have a heck of a time cleaning up all this rubbish. And that's all she wrote from Thammasat Stadium here in Bangkok. I went up to see the team as they were on the bus, and you could tell that it was just complete devastation on their faces. They were using the curtains on the bus to wipe away the tears. It really was just a sad scene. Didn't really exchange many greetings, although I did greet the Thai bus driver again. You know, that was interesting. But yeah, that's going to do it here in Thailand. All the coverage from Thailand, but we will be back for coverage of Naeko Hyang going to Suwon for the semifinal of the AFC Women's Champions League. That will definitely be the next remote, and hopefully we will have more content for you in between, which is not just travelogues. So stay here with DPRK Athletics, and you know, it's sad to leave another one of these competitions without a win. I really thought that we had it this time, but sometimes Japan is just too much, and it'll make that first championship that I do get to see in person that much more sweet, you know. 안녕히 계십시오. 여기는 방콕입니다.